Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. As Chuck mentioned, my name is Imogen Lovera and I am a senior product manager at Algolia. Today, I'm really excited to introduce Algolia Collections, which is our new feature which launched in March that empowers business teams to create curated product assortments on the fly without a heavy developer lift. So, in the next 15 minutes, I'll walk through 3 real customer challenges that led us to build collections, show you how it works technically, and give you a peek at what's coming next. And the goal is really to show you how collections bridges the gap between business vision and a technical implementation. And by the end, you'll see how this product enables the precise curation your customers have been asking for, hopefully. Let's dive in. Let me start with a scenario in the e-commerce space. So Harry Rosen, a premium menswear retailer and an Algolia customer, wanted to create curated collections like date night outfits. Their buyers are experts who know exactly which suit pairs with which shirt, which shoes, and which accessories to create that perfect look. But getting this precise vision online, that was a nightmare. The problem wasn't that they couldn't group products, they could use our rules context feature to filter by categories like formal wear or evening wear. But their buyers didn't want to show all formal shirts. They wanted to show that specific Tom Ford tie, those particular Italian leather shoes, and maybe 3 specific suits that they knew worked perfectly together. Now, rules context had serious limitations. You could only filter by attributes, not handpick individual items. You couldn't add that one perfect pocket square to a collection that was otherwise defined by price range and brand filters. And there was no analytics on how these groupings performed. They also didn't integrate with other Algolia features like dynamic re-ranking. So the business impact was real. Their marketing campaigns fell flat because the curation wasn't precise enough. Conversion rates suffered because customers couldn't find the exact editorial vision that their expert buyers had crafted. Now, this challenge extends far beyond fashion. Take learning platforms like Coursera. They face the exact same expert curation problem when building themed learning paths like AI for career switches or data science foundations. Here we have the same pattern. Educational experts who know the optimal learning progression, but traditional categorization falls short. The education experts can identify the perfect sequence of 8 to 12 specific courses that will take someone through from beginner to job ready. But again, the way of doing this within Algolia was painful. With rules context, they could filter by subject area, show all AI courses, show all beginner level courses, but they couldn't create that precise learning journey that experts envisioned. They couldn't say, start with these 3 specific Python courses, then take these 2 machine learning courses, and then finish with these 3 capstone projects. The result? Students got overwhelmed by hundreds of AI courses instead of finding the curated 10-course path that would actually get them hired. The expertise of their education team couldn't translate into the user experience. So we've got one more example. Imagine Netflix wanting to create mood-based collections like Just for Laughs, comedy specials, or Take a Closer Look documentaries. Their content curators know exactly which 15 to 20 titles belong in each themed collection. Mixing genres, mixing formats, creating these carefully crafted viewing experiences. But with rule context, they were stuck again. They could filter by genre, by release date, by rating, but they couldn't again mix that one perfect comedy special with 3 specific documentaries and 2 limited series that all shared the same editorial theme. The business impact? Users bounced because they couldn't find those carefully crafted viewing experiences that kept people binge watching for hours. So that's why we built Algolia Collections. Collections is the ability to organize and showcase content beyond fixed categories. So business users, think e-commerce managers, merchandisers, content curators, can create dynamic and hand-picked assortments that follow specific themes and update based on set conditions. So unlike rigid categories that come from your backend catalog, these collections are defined on the fly in Algolia, and it lets you blend manual curation with dynamic conditions. But here's what makes it different from those old workarounds. It's built directly into our visual merchandiser and dashboard, not a separate tool or hacky workaround. Because it's part of the Algolia engine, that means all of our usual relevance and merchandising features apply. So you can use rules on a collection page, and dynamic re-ranking will automatically optimize the order of products in a collection based on user behavior, just as it does for category pages today. Now, analytics are also tracked, so business users can now see how their collections perform. In short, collections gives non-developers a direct handle on creating and tweaking those product assortments, while still leveraging all the power of Algolia search behind the scenes. Now, let me share with you how this solves those exact customer problems I shared earlier. Harry Rosen's buyers can now handpick that perfect Tom Ford tie with those specific Italian leather shoes, creating the exact date night outfit vision they had in mind. No more being limited to sort of broad formal wear categories. Coursera's learning experts can now curate their ideal AI for career switchers path, selecting those exact 8 to 12 courses that specific instructors they trust, and really make them go in the right sequence too. Students get focused learning journeys instead of being overwhelmed by hundreds of options. And Netflix, those content teams can finally build those perfect mood-based collections, mixing that one comedy special with those 3 specific documentaries and 2 limited series to create the exact binge-worthy experience that keeps viewers, especially me, engaged. Now, in every case here, the creative vision that was stuck in someone's head can now be implemented directly into the search experience, without waiting for developer resources or complex workaround. Your domain expertise is your competitive advantage, so what we've tried to do here is make sure that Collections ensures that expertise reaches your customers without compromise. Now that we've seen how Collections, or what it does essentially, we can look at how it works, and we can start with the back end. So I've mentioned this a little bit throughout the talk, but what we had before Collections was a solution that sort of was a hacky workaround called rules contexts. And that worked for sort of broad personalization. Your website sends tags like new customer or mobile with search requests, and rules customize results accordingly. But when merchandisers wanted to create that perfect date night outfit collection, specific kind of mixing ties and specific shoes, rules context really hit a wall. As I mentioned, you can filter broadly, but you can't handpick individual items or create the nuanced collections that those experts envision. Now, let me walk you through how Collections completely changes this. So it all starts with a Collections update. So when a business user creates or modifies a collection in our dashboard, this triggers our transformation engine, which is where the magic happens. So the transformation engine evaluates your collection conditions, both the dynamic rules and also any handpicked item. And it also adds the underscore collections attribute to any matching records. Now, these transformed records flow into your index records. Your search index now contains the products that are properly tagged with their collection membership. And finally, when your customer visits your collection page, the search results are filtered by the underscore collections attribute, just like any other facet would. Now, here's what makes this powerful. For dynamic collections, this happens automatically in real time. So if a new product comes into your catalog or index that matches your conditions, it gets tagged immediately. If it stops matching, the tag gets removed. So your collections stay perfectly in sync, without any manual work. And the key insight here is that everything flows through the same transformation pipeline. So your collection data is always accurate and up to date. And this is fundamentally different from rules context, as hopefully you can see. Instead of applying rules at the search time, we're pre-computing collection membership and storing that as data, which is much cleaner, much more reliable, and it enables that precise expert curation that was impossible before. On the front end, collections work exactly like any other facet in Algolia. Under the hood, you're just filtering on that underscore collections attribute that we added during indexing. And here's what the code looks like in vanilla.js, specifically in instant search. So you create a menu widget that filters on the collections attribute, and that's it. The collection behaves just like any other facet value you can filter on. So the beautiful thing here is that you don't need to create new pages for every single collection. One dynamic template handles all collections, and it works with routing, so you get clean URLs like collections slash, I don't know, summer sale or date night outfits, and it integrates with all instant search widgets. Everything just works neatly together. Now, for developers, this means minimal work once the initial setup is done. Business users can create and swap collections without any additional coding from your team. Now, before talking about the roadmap, let me quickly recap what the current state of collections is. So, collections, as I mentioned at the beginning, have been available since March. We've seen incredible adoption across our customer base, and if you're on a premium or elevate plan, you can create 25 collections per index. Each collection can contain up to 1,000 items, and we're seeing customers use them for all sorts of use cases. So first up on our roadmap for this quarter is flexible conditions, and that's really flexible filtering capabilities. So we launched with basic condition builders, and we're expanding this to support numeric operators and more complex logic. So you'll be able to say, for instance, price under £100, or you can also now combine filters with and/or as needed. And really, this gives business users much more precise control over their dynamic collections. And this actually launched yesterday, so is available in the product today. Next, we're integrating smart groups into collections. So smart groups also launched recently and are Algolia's way to define curated sets of products. So let's say you wanted to handpick a set of sponsored product blocks that you can inject into search results or category pages. Well, we're actually bringing this capability into collections as well. So if a business user has created this smart group, they can now drop it directly into a collection as well. And this ensures that carefully crafted groups can appear consistently across search, category pages, and collection pages for a unified merchandising strategy. And this is coming on the 8th of July. Then we have neural collections, which will let users generate a new collection just by typing a natural language prompt. So behind the scenes, it uses Algolia's neural search to find relevant items. And a merchandiser could type, I don't know, vintage summer outfits with florals. And the system retrieves matching products as a starting collection. They can then review, tweak, and save. This dramatically reduces the manual curation effort for creating collections. When you're creating collections, probably a bit more at scale, I would say. In addition to that, we're also simplifying how collections works with your indexing. So we launched collections for customers who had existing integrations or were willing to integrate with our push connector. We're now expanding this to work with other indexing methods, so removing that special ingestion pipeline requirement and also reducing the developer setup friction significantly at the beginning of using collections. And finally, we're raising the limits. So we launched with 25 collections per index, and we're scaling this up to at least 200. Similarly, items per collection are increasing from 1,000 to over 2,000, so larger assortments can now fit into one collection. Neural collections and the indexing simplification enhancements are rolling out by the end of July, and collection limits increases will come by September 2nd. Now, I want to turn this to you, the audience. Imagine you're one of these, or you're facing one of these challenges, Maybe you have merchandisers who can't execute their creative vision, or your engineering team is constantly building one-off landing pages for marketing campaigns. Collections empower your business users to execute their vision directly. No longer do creative ideas get bottlenecked waiting for developer capacity. Your team can create that perfect date-night outfit collection, curate precise learning paths, or build mood-based content experiences, all without multiple engineering tickets. This also reduces those single-page bottlenecks for your engineering team. Instead of building custom pages for every marketing campaign or seasonal promotion, you can focus on higher value work, while business users handle their own merchandising needs. So collections really bridges your business goals and your technical capabilities. It translates your merchandiser's intent into a working experience almost instantly, and all while maintaining the technical integrity and performance of your Algolia implementation. And critically, it bridges the gap between human curation and AI automation. So collections let you combine manual control with dynamic conditions, and soon, as I mentioned, even AI generated suggestions. And this is exactly where search and discovery is headed, the perfect blend of human insight and machine intelligence, as we've seen today. So, as you think about your own challenges, what merchandising bottlenecks are you facing? What editorial visions are stuck because you can't implement them? Collections might be exactly what you need to unlock that next level of search experience. We're really excited about what's next and coming up, and we hope you are too. Thank you for listening, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Imogen. And Amir is actually, he's got a couple scenarios for you that he'd like to go through. The first one is, with collections, can I power carousels with collections on the homepage of an e-com website and name it Our Summer Selection without coding?
So you have to use instant search and filter by the collections attribute. But yes, for sure, collections is a way of grouping those different assortments of products, and they can be used anywhere. So they don't have to be a dedicated page. They can be implemented into a carousel on the homepage, as Amir explained. So yes, definitely.
Right on. Excellent. Okay. And then similarly, I can use collection names as a facet, right? Which we've just said you
Correct.
can.
Yeah.
So I can filter in summer selection immediately after I create the collection from the dashboard.
Repeat that question, sorry.
I can use a collection name as a facet. So I
Yes,
can
correct.
filter in summer selection
Yes.
immediately after I create the collection from the dashboard.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It generates a filter, so you can filter by that. It appears in your index and everything.
Right on, right on. And Amir also asked, can I manipulate collections via the Algolia MCP server? So is there an API exposed?
Not right now, but watch this space. Possibly in the future. That is something that we're looking at.
All right, that's fair. Oh, and we just got one more question. Is there a blog about collections or that kind of describes this use case that you went through?
Yes, I believe there is something on our website. I'll post it in the chat after I've been taken down.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And one more. Are collections SEO capable? So are they static that'll get picked up by crawlers or not?
So they work with the rest of the SEO infrastructure that you have. There's nothing currently built into collections to optimize them, but they work with your stack in sort of how you manage your pages today.
Got it. So if you're maybe already doing server-side rendering to enable SEO, this would work
Yes,
the same
exactly.
way as you're doing it now, if that's something that's a
Exactly.
capability of yours.
There's nothing
Um,
specific built in, but yes, exactly.
the questions just keep pouring in, so I'm going to do one more for you here. Can I use the result modification and ranking rules for collections?
Yes. So as I mentioned, collections does work with the kind of downstream features. So anything that you want to apply to a collection page will work.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that puts us right at time, so I'm going to stop the questions there. But thank you so much, Imogen. And if you can share that blog post in chat, I think there's some folks that would love to be able to read through the use case that you described.
Will do. Thanks very much. Bye, everyone.
Excellent.